more and more I am being guided to study more. More and more I am being guided to study more.
See my Moorish flag flying like my Moorish cape. I'm not a Jew, but Jerusalem has a Moorish gate. Dirty Moors unreal, call them Moorish fakes. Pull at Negroes' emotions like some Moorish drapes. If you really wanna know, go to a Moorish meeting. You better have a pen and pad, cause when active Moors speaking, it's wake up time. You won't find a Moorish sleeping. Crescent moon and star in the sky, that's a Moorish beacon. The way I navigate beats, call me Moorish Seaman. My nationality, I have the power, Moorish He-Man. Moorish turban, I'm royal, don't mistake me for bourbon. Moorish master MC surgeon, not a rapping servant. We suburban, Moors are so determined to solve the Negro problem, Moorish white man's burden. Moors beans conquer, white rice, that's a Moorish plate. Black or more fish on the hook, that's a Moorish bait. Moorish estate before chapter 48, ancestral line. All secrets taken away, Moors are not clandestine. Euromasons go to back rooms or washrooms, returning black robes and hoods with cloaks, Moorish costumes. You won't have it twisted once the Moorish got you. Desensitize the facts so the truth won't shock you. Some people call it awesome, I'm making it awful. Liar, lawyer, pushing the legal when Moors are lawful. Preachers give you ghost spell, sheep bring Moorish gospel. Moors are ancient, they even found the fez on a fossil. Even Bruce Lee knew he wore shirts with arms. Even MC Hammer knew pantaloons are Moorish pants.
I understand, man. I understand that nationality is the order of the day. I understand.
I've seen and heard Moorish things in this realm I had to fathom. In shadow eyes inside hoods, Moorish master phantoms. Smoke swarms, sword and circle 7 forms. You can stay close, I'm gonna stay far from the norm. Tory and Astro, travel on terror, no license. No jail cell, no cuffs, no sirens. No watching over my back, trying not to get stabbed. No fence hopping, windows copping. Want me nabbed. Moorish monk status, bad up any youth who's baddest. With knowledge of self, Moorish Quran quotes, gun in my belt. Moorish naga, not a nigga, no shots fired. Telling officers they're servants and just hired. Easing back into his cruiser, Popo ego bruiser. Tables turn, Moorish status got him like the loser. It's a shame, many hear it, but only a few wake up from the dream state and do what Moors do. Fearing their own Moorish star, pheasant, L-Bay. I'm staying Moorish, I don't care what blacks say. You can tell me, many Moors are running a racket. Or show me pics proving Drew Ali is a Moorish faggot. No matter how bad it looks, I'm not dropping this habit. Moorish Neo, wake up the screams telling me follow white rabbits, jumping, stumbling blocks. They call Holy Trinity. Moorish mind, soul, and heart expressing divinity. I'm Illuminati, illuminated, great seal Moor. All seeing eye from high, being the being I. Stand on squares and compass as Allah prepares the mind to handle demonic candles, devilish stares, casting spells so I can abandon and give them my power. For Grand Dragon commanded from a Moorish tower. Yelling Alfred Pike quotes, don't be surprised to catch me. Drawing Moorish pentagrams, reading Madame Blavatsky.
But I'm a Moor. Islam. I'm a Moor. Got sense enough to know I'm a Moor. And ain't gonna never argue with you that I'm not a Moor. And wouldn't come in your house or come among you and say I'm a Moor if I didn't feel in my heart, in my mind, in my soul that I am. So God damn it, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No Moor. So if I say it, if I mean it, if I mean it, generally, I say it. Are you a Muslim? Yes. But I know my roots, and I ain't Kunta Kinte.
Yeah. 1 2 1 2. Check. You already know what it is. Moorish MC. Yeah, yo. All praise due to Allah, no bow ties. On my tracks, rappers get the warp speed blow bars. Stay in my lane around corners, one man, no eyes, Cyclops Bay. Covenant not new like polites. Running a fraud, you paid 4,300, Lord, this in the legend. Typical coon and reverence, but people support getting played robbed for birthrights. It's not about fiat, your energy quenches their thirst, right? Vampires and warlocks speak with finesse in their speech. Subconscious mind traps won't release, detecting a breach. They dissing their prophet, Drew Ali, they dissing their creed. Before you follow dirty Moors, listen to me. Every Moor is not your bro, most of them sold out. Ask Khalid, Malcolm, Shabazz, and the ones that know about getting stabbed in their back for talking about rights. Minus the civil, notwithstanding, like a cripple. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, the priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you. Middlemen come calling themselves prophets and godsends, claiming they're sovereign, following hillbilly nonsense, saying Moors are wrong, taking things out of context. Stupidity of conscious blacks is an inferior complex, following leaders that won't go with you off the cliff, lying about slavery and even about slave ships, robbing the ignorant, saying papers filed federal, under the jurisdiction of attorney generals, claiming straw men for credit in a debt system. Yes, bonds from the treasury are really from the IMF. I am just saying what I see from the conscious, begging for donations while acting obnoxious, with no solutions. 1,500 for service products that cost 50 cents to print. These black devils are off their rockers. They don't feel awkward giving state ID to coppers. Highwaymen think killing the bay is gonna stop us. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead. You better think nowadays, fam, use your head. The only savior is you, priesthood is dead.
We declare our rights on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Black History Month you find ridiculous.
You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, come on. What do you do with yours? Which month is Black History Month? No, well, come on. Tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh. Why not? Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man. Yeah. And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
Yeah. Yo, base your eyes on the guy that has no kind of worries if I die. So pussy clot try. No skinny jeans or tight shirts kinda. No lip piercings without satoon locks or eyeliner. Nail polish wearing conscious coon staring. Stop me calling up the unconscious goons daring to chain bricks to wrists and ankles of rappers. Killer priests like crickets moon after. We put on black sheets, pointed hoods and all. Bat your head like your skull is a baseball or pinata. You cuff boys don't want drama. You don't want to get bit by my piranhas. Sharks that I swim with take more than legs and arms. Shango or Kali, if you're lucky, my right to bear arms is what I exercise. Cause if I call Orishas, it's a cult mixed with voodoo and Santeria. Not even wards Ouija. Veil and cloak rituals close to you, but you can't see me. Looking in your face as you pass me by like far side. Calling spirits from the underworld and dark side. Go to the Medu Center, invoke higher, not lower heavens. Neo saw the Matrix, I see 11s, 22s, 33s and 44s. On dream realms, about an alligator, man and warty boards. Vampiric weapons, SO not exoteric. Barbaric pirate, but don't call me barbaric. Don't call a medic, you better call a grave digger. Or call a rep as you tap out cause your legs four-figured. I'm not that nigga, jigger or rapping tigger. More like a Moorish, smooth the hustler and trigger. Base your eyes on the guy that has no kind of worries if I die. So pussy clot try. Base your eyes on the guy that has no kind of worries if I die. So pussy clot try.
Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you a gangster?
Black power my ass, y'all just playing the ass posing, frontin', no bustin', no dirty cock gun button. At least Moor's right, rich, trying to do something. Pen as my weapon, feathers up and turbans, no bluffing. Don't get it twisted, saw a more get handcuffing. Judges dismiss cases, prosecutors cussing, telling my guys recuse themselves or get sued. Civil right leaders got conscious blacks marching on news, stopping traffic of people that didn't kill their sons and daughters. In Canaanland we call y'all bright and out of order. Nationality has me awake like a sleep disorder, while most wear blinders, my peripherals broader. For the record, I'd sweat nervous court recorders in Admiralty maritime shores. Moors walk on water, ancients return with mental cures, no sight blurred, while they stay killing their minds and saying they learn.
Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you a gangster?
Your forefathers had names before they became slaves. Seems like today it's only nicknames and pain. You should be learning so pain could stop from these vermin. German Nazi Inquisition is enslaving with sermons. Declared independence, still giving Moors reverence. Talking treaties with Muslims at Oval Office entrance. Into the entrance masses, keep them docile and passive. Killing them, corralling blacks, acting like hostile fascists. Take oaths to break them, unless it's from the lodge. They give profits, we take them and neglect ancestors. Playing Mr. Tuffy, smoking a Dutch from the same master. Bullies stealing your money for lunch. Wanna drink from their bowl cause they spike their punch. With Clorox, I'm not guessing, but I have a hunch. I can say I stand up to mercenary punks, while you Facebook posing with Glocks cocked and shotguns pumped.
Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you a gangster?
If you got guns and use them on targets moving. Try KKK badge carriers in your hood cruising. I'm not promoting violence, it's a point I'm proving. Moore's methods do work, but Coons disapproving. Khalid calling you out, but you're attacking the sheep. And wanna show me how good you are with your hands and feet. Never challenge a cop when they arresting your brother, but we'll wear hoods and hold skittles, one after another. Acting with lethal weapons, you Mel Gibsons and Glovers. Shot in the back, I'm watching you suffer. Black standing on corners in seconds, life smothered. She forgave him for his son's death, but listen to mother. Listen to common exercising his five senses. To end racism, stop looking through racial lenses. Look at constitutional, not civil defenses. Stop marching, the only thing that pickets is fences.
Why you don't pull up on the passenger side of the police car and bust on the police instead of your brother? I've never heard of it. You say you a gangster? Gangster!
Well, you know, I mean, like, if I'm guilty of anything, it's probably like spreading too much love, you know what I'm saying? But specifically, I got caught with a minor. Yeah, she's 6 years old. Yeah.
Why did you get in here?
Well, you know, I mean, like, if I'm guilty of anything, it's probably like spreading too much love, you know what I'm saying? But specifically, I got caught with a minor. Yeah, she's 6 years old. Yeah.
Why did you get in here?
Well, you know, I mean, like, if I'm guilty of anything, it's probably like spreading too much love, you know what I'm saying? But specifically, I got caught with a minor. Yeah, she's 6 years old. Yeah.
Why did you get in here?
Well, you know, I mean, like, if I'm guilty of anything, it's probably like spreading too much love, you know what I'm saying? But specifically, I got caught with a minor. Yeah, she's 6 years old. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's almost like there are biological differences between men and women, particularly when it comes to the capacity for procreation. It's almost like women's bodies were actually created to procreate and to birth a baby. That's so wild. I wonder if there was like, I don't know, some like intent behind it. Maybe, I don't know, it's just a wild idea that I have, bear with me, that like some creator, like, or some intelligent designer was like, oh, I think that I need to make two beings that are biologically complementary so that the human race can keep going on, and maybe there was some plan behind that. No, since there's really no difference, it's all just a social construct.
Any men who have a uterus can menstruate.
A man has XY. I'm sorry to be so rude. I apologize. But you're incorrect, because we're talking about anatomy and biology. Like, if you were to have surgery, they need to know what sex you are. So women... That's what's going on.
No, I said I was crossing up the line.
This is very serious what's going on in America. They're indoctrinating...
Ever since COVID happened, it's just been non-stop chaos. They've stolen 4 years of your life that you're not going to get back. They made the economy super fucking hard for anybody to be successful in. They've created situations where people's families have been ruined, people's lives have been ruined, their businesses have been closed, and they've done this for their own gain. It's very obvious what's happening. People just don't want to believe it, because if you have to believe it, that means you have to do something about it. If you have to do something about it, it means you have to get uncomfortable. You are better off getting mildly uncomfortable now than experiencing what they are trying to create, which will create massive disruption in your life and maybe even the destruction of it. Ever since COVID happened, it's just been non-stop chaos. They've stolen 4 years of your life that you're not going to get back. They made the economy super fucking hard for anybody to be successful in. They've created situations where people's families have been ruined, people's lives have been ruined, their businesses have been closed, and they've done this for their own gain. It's very obvious what's happening. People just don't want to believe it, because if you have to believe it, that means you have to do something about it. If you have to do something about it, it means you have to get uncomfortable. You are better off getting mildly uncomfortable now than experiencing what they are trying to create, which will create massive disruption in your life and maybe even the destruction of it.
Born in my practice. There was no cherry picking. There was no, we're going to exclude you for this or that. Every baby born was looked at, and we looked at every single office visit. We stratified them according to the number of vaccines they had.
Okay.
So basically we had over 500 who had 0 vaccines, and then we had another 3,700 and some who had some vaccines. And what we found, Del, was actually even mind-boggling for myself. I mean, I had a sense, I've had a practice now for 14 years where parents get to decide. The one thing I am absolute on is informed consent. You, the parent, get to decide what gets injected into your baby, if anything. You should always insist on that or else walk out of that doctor's office. But because we do informed consent, we had a growing number of unvaccinated patients. And what I was clearly seeing was these kids don't get sick. They don't get chronic conditions. Well, the data spoke for itself. And you're showing your viewers the graphs. Those orange lines are over time, over that 10.5 years, the more vaccines you had, the worse you were for whether we looked at infections, ADD, ADHD, neurodevelopmental issues. Eczema, allergies, it doesn't matter what we looked at, even just plain old anemia skyrockets in the vaccinated when compared to the blue line, the unvaccinated.
Wow.
This data is so powerful that within 5 days of it being available online, they yanked my license. December 3rd, 2020, the organ born in my practice. There was no cherry picking. There was no, we're going to exclude you for this or that. Every baby born was looked at, and we looked at every single office visit. We stratified them according to the number of vaccines they had.
Okay.
So basically we had over 500 who had 0 vaccines, and then we had another 3,700 and some who had some vaccines. And what we found, Del, was actually even mind-boggling for myself. I mean, I had a sense, I've had a practice now for 14 years where parents get to decide. The one thing I am absolute on is informed consent. You, the parent, get to decide what gets injected into your baby, if anything. You should always insist on that or else walk out of that doctor's office. But because we do informed consent, we had a growing number of unvaccinated patients. And what I was clearly seeing was these kids don't get sick. They don't get chronic conditions. Well, the data spoke for itself. And you're showing your viewers the graphs. Those orange lines are over time, over that 10.5 years, the more vaccines you had, the worse you were for whether we looked at infections, ADD, ADHD, neurodevelopmental issues, eczema, allergies. It doesn't matter what we looked at, even just plain old anemia skyrockets in the vaccinated when compared to the blue line, the unvaccinated.
Wow.
This data is so powerful that within 5 days of it being available online, they yanked my license.
So I keep seeing stitches of that white man, and the only thing that I have to say are words that aren't my own. They're actually Toni Morrison. She wrote, the very serious function of racism is distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It keeps you explaining over and over again your reason for being. Somebody says you have no language and you spend 20 years proving that you do. Somebody says your head isn't shaped properly, so you have scientists working on the fact that it is. Somebody says you have no art, so you dredge that up. Somebody says you have no kingdom, so you dredge that up. None of this is necessary. There will always be one more thing. There are 2 key takeaways for me here. One is the first thing that she says, that the very serious function of racism is distraction. I personally refuse to allow myself to be distracted, because if you don't get it at this point in 2024, that is an intentional choice. You don't want to get it, and therefore I'm not wasting my time or energy on you. The second point is something that she says at the end, that there will always be one more thing. You explain one thing and here comes 25 more things you need to explain. There's always going to be one more thing. And me personally, I'm done explaining, especially for free. So I keep seeing.
Top 5 fake gurus who sell bullshit AliExpress products to the black community to make themselves rich while claiming it has amazing medical benefits. Number 1 is the simp of all gurus. And dressed like Noble Drew Ali, Goldwater people. AliExpress, whatever the hell AliExpress is. Remember, these are black guys. Black guys calling out the traders that they see. Dr. Tammy, whoever the hell Dr. Tammy is. Coach Stormy, selling tea. Coach Stormy using titties to sell tea. People must be buying. They got 1.5 million and all that, so people must be buying. And yada.
Product that reversed your mother's cancer.
Yes. So I created an apple of Eve, which feeds every cell in your body, but it's anti-geogenetic, anti-inflammatory, and anti-metastatic. Anti-geogenetic is when the healthy cell stops giving blood to the cancer cells. So we just isolated the food supply. It's anti-inflammatory because
You need to shut the fuck up.
Product that reversed your mother's cancer.
Yes. So I
Sharpie. Happy holiday, Moors. Islam. To all the Moors worldwide. Happy holiday to you. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the Moors. We made it. We made it, Moors. We made it. It's all manifesting right in our face.
It's a case, Fairfield versus Lawson.
Right in our face. Yeah. Honors to the Kenyans. Honors to them for standing up. Standing up for their nation. Not a religion, not a club, not an organization, not a religious corporation. Nation. Nation stood up. Nobody's saying that they're black Kenyans and none of that. Those are light-skinned Kenyans. Nationality. Made the president withdraw the tax. Made the president withdraw the tax. And you're sitting down over here playing nigger games, black games. And only the Moors are onto something. Only the Moors are onto something. Everybody else is playing games. And they're going to keep playing games because they're King Alfred plan. They're the black organizations under 24-hour, 365-day surveillance. And they're agents for federal, all the right down to however far down you want to go. Playing black games. The Kenyans said they're not having it. And all of them saw. Remember when they show in the wildlife that something tried to punk an ant, and those black ants claim in the thousands in seconds, and just ate them. Nothing, just not even any talking, no conversations, nothing, just ate them. There wasn't even any conversation. Zero convo. Super zero convo. Zero. What they did is what the so-called Negro, black, colored, and whoever else could do in America for their rights and all that stuff. But you can't do it as a Negro, black, colored, Indian, and all that. It's not going to work because those aren't nationalities. The Kenyans weren't saying the black guys were running in the parliament. They weren't saying black people did it. They weren't saying Africans did it. Kenyans in Africa, right? Okay, so if Kenyans in Africa, how come they're Kenyans, not Africans? And you're dumbass over here. You're African though. They're in Africa, and then they're not African, but you who aren't even in Africa, you're African. Really? Made the president withdraw the tax. Just a tax, that's all. They ain't worried about nothing else. All the other BS that they don't even care. Just tax, we're not having that tax. That's too much. And the damn president came out and said, sorry, we're going to remove the tax. And everybody just goes back to what they were doing. Bet they never try that again. Bet they never try that again. So you can, play games if you want to. But the suggestion is don't play games. Don't play games. You already know it's holy day, so we gotta do some Juali. Yeah, a holy day and not talk about what the prophet did. You gotta talk about what the prophet did. Another one of these news articles, the Moors preserved, so Moors can know what was going on. And oh yeah, speaking about Noble Drew Ali. So last night I got a call. Islam, I'm in Mississauga. Is the temple open tomorrow? We don't really have anything going on Fridays. Well, Sunday. No, I'm leaving Saturday. Man. So, went to the temple today for these Moors near New Jersey that just happen to be out here, Mississauga. That's like 20 minutes from the temple. And they wanted to go to the temple. The children wanted to go to the temple. Because, being brought up in this, knowing that you're a Moor and all that. With the children, they don't play. So he remembers last time he was at the temple, and he had a good time that weekend. He had a good time. Older now, wiser now, and still happy to be at the temple. Happy to be with the Moors. So I'm saying that to say with Drew Ali. In the oral statements it says that the Prophet's happy when the Moors are happy. And once you can make Moors happy, know that Drew Ali is happy. So do your best to make Moors happy. No need for Moors to cause Moors grief. Islam, and happy solar return to all the todayers, all the pincers. Don't get it from them. You'll get it from them. Got those little things that with the little eyes just looking at you. Seeing everything, you don't miss anything, huh? You don't miss anything. Honors. Noble Drew Ali got talked about. Newspaper talking about the Prophet and what the Moors were doing. Beginning October 15th and continuing through the entire week, the Moorish Science Temple of America, of which Mr. Drew is the founder and president, will hold its first general conference at Unity Hall, 3140 Indiana Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. President Ali began definite plans to this end upon his recent return from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where he spent several days lecturing at the local Moorish temple. Pine Bluff, Arkansas had Moors in Drew Ali's time. Enough Moors that he's there lecturing for several days. Where are those Moors at? Where are those Moors? Where are they? Those Moors? They have to be somewhere. 20s to now? All those Moors gone? So we need to find some Pine Bluff, Arkansas Moors to resurrect those Moors, because they might have some stuff. Maybe they have the audios. Somebody got the audios. The organization is playing a useful and definite part in advancing the sacred obligations of American citizenship. Indications are that this convention will be one of the most interesting ever held in the city. It will be featured by delegates attending in pilgrimages from 15 different states where local temples have been established. There will be an interesting parade in which men and women members will wear regalia similar to what is worn in Eastern countries. A camel will be used. During the session, specific reports of the general work and civic accomplishments of local accomplishments will be made. Reports also of the business enterprises that have been established in connection with these temples, such as 2 grocery and market stores in Detroit, where's that at? A laundry in Pittsburgh, where's that at? A moving and express business and groceries in Chicago. Now we know about one of them, the Grand Chic Nature Moorish moving, but where's that express moving and express business and grocery that was in Chicago for the Moors? Where's that at? And then you're talking about 15 different states and 17 different temples, and all these people have businesses and all that. Obviously Moors were thriving. If in the 20s the Moors had a camel, business enterprises such as grocery stores, market stores, laundromats, moving and express business, what would we have now if we had that then? Obviously we should have what the Walmart and all of them and the Amazon and all that have. That's what we should have right now then. And this is what they didn't want. So we're giving you these as a reference point for you to see that the Moorish thing's not some joke like how these people talk today about the Moors and Noble Drew Ali. Find me their leader who had 2 grocery stores, markets, laundromats and all that. Find me their leader who had that in the 20s. Bet you won't. These examples of collective effort show that members of the Moorish Science Temple and their leaders have a sound economic program and are blazing the trail and marking the pathway over which our posterity may travel unhampered and unafraid. Right? Because they would have got the lessons, right? Because they would have gone to Sunday school. Their parents would have been going to their meetings. On top of that, having their own business or whatever like that, which is doing that industrious work, which is being independent, fearless. We already know that some stuff's gonna fail, but yeah, you know what? Throw it in the hat. Something might happen. You know, it might sprout. You throw that seed in there. Right? These examples of collective effort. Right? Our collective effort has to be honoring Noble Drew Ali. Just like the Moors sit from 8 hours away. And it's Friday, and they go to their temple because it's Friday. And they were able to be in a different jurisdiction and still honor their prophet. Because that's what they wanted to do. Because the foundation that they come from is Friday is the meeting day. So every Friday at the temple. Just like with us, that every Sunday, that's just temple day. You already know from 12 to 3, it's temple. That's just what it is. Right? Members and their leaders have a sound economic program. And don't forget Moorish Manufacturing Company. Don't forget, if we're talking about the Sisters Auxiliary, then we have to talk about all those Moorish women and their businesses, whatever they were doing, because all that stuff was in the Moorish Guide newspaper too. Cleaners and seamstresses and all these people with advertisements in the Moorish Guide. Moorish too. It must be kept in mind that no great movement can take definite shape in 2 or 3 years, so as to be error-proof, said President Ali. However, through accumulating experience, each annual convention ought to witness a more perfect and wider functioning organization representing the organized experience of men and women members throughout the country and possibly in time the world over. And this is where they took Noble Drew Ali and zoomed in on the lens. And you've been walking around zoomed in thinking you're seeing something. Thinking they're showing you something that Noble Drew Ali brought. And they would never zoom out for you to actually see what this is. It's what they tell you it is. Right? Didn't he say a more perfect and wider functioning organization? Wider, right? Lens being wide so you can see panoramic. You don't want to see right? Keep in mind, this is President Ali talking to you. It's President Ali who they're quoting. President of what? So that's prophet, right? So what's he president of? President of a religious corporation? He's going to Pine Bluff, Arkansas and all that to go teach Moors? What is the CEO doing that for? If they're referencing him as President Ali, you think that's not government? You think he wasn't making a claim? And continuing, President Ali said, constructive criticism from sympathetic friends in and outside of our ranks is welcome. Right? That's why out here we had the Unity Summit. When we invited all the schools of thought. And only Nuwapian showed up. And some RBG. Right? RBG including, the Rastas and all them. No NOI. No Hebrew Israelites. No Christian whoever. No whatever. And all we're doing is presenting nationality to everybody. Like, hey, this is where it's at. I don't know where you people are going to be on, but we're here to just put you on game. And the only ones who we still see around that recognizes what's up is the Nuwapians. Because they already know Docs or Moor and all that. No one else is repping it. They want to do the Negro, black, colored, African, whatever. Alright. It is what it is. That's why the temple's open, because Moors near New Jersey wanted to be at the temple. And Negro, black, colors here, they're playing games. But a Moor 8 hours away, they want to go to the temple though. But people here seeing Moors walking up and down here, traveling, doing whatever here, working, whatever Moors are doing out here. People seeing them, they have no interest. But some Moors near 8 hours away are gonna say they want to go to the temple. People who've been at the temple know what it is. People who walked in the doors know what it is. Right? They either went in and it was too much and they never came back, or they went in and then they couldn't leave. With many, it's too much and they never return. They can't deal with all that energy, all that love energy, with their hate in their hearts and all that. They can't deal with it. No. We expect the constructive criticism. We expect it. Now we said constructive, right? Not trolling and all that stuff. None of that BS. Constructive. If you really think there's something you think the Moor should be doing or we're not doing, you should be able to step up and say, hey, you know what? I'm not with what the Moor has said about whatever. Then the Moor is supposed to be able to break you down to show you that, no, you haven't messed up. You need to be on the side with the Moors instead of critiquing. We don't need your constructive criticism. We're Moors. We have a perfect example in Noble Drew Ali and what he did. Perfect example. It's a perfect example. So we don't need anything but what Noble Drew Ali brought to figure this thing out. We don't need anything than what he brought. Now, just so if the articles calling up telling him President Ali and all that stuff in the 20s, then somebody definitely played you. Because how you saying Obama's the first or whatever when you had Hanson and all them and including Noble Drew Ali, who was president for a few months. Then assassinate him, get him out the way, and get back on board with their New Deal. And at that point, you were done for. You were wards. And then the Moors were supposed to step up and keep on with the program of uplifting fallen humanity and having the grocery stores and all that. Don't worry about Noble Drew Ali got assassinated. But, you know, we realized that, oh yeah, those are the traitors. Those are the ones that assassinated him. That's why they didn't do jack with this until active Moors started bringing this out into the public. These people were playing club games with the Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Movement, Moorish Nation, playing club with everything. Everything Moorish was a club. With never nothing for people to take serious. Moors did that. Moors made people's perspective be like that about the Moorish movement. Moors did that. You know? And now they're mad. Don't be mad that you got figured out by some smarter Moors. You got figured out. It's okay. Don't be upset. Just accept it. Accept it. Supreme honors to all. Love and peace to all the Moors worldwide. Happy Holy Day once again. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I know it's unbelievable, but trust me, the work he did, none of these nigger leader whoever's came close yet. None of them. Zero. Not one. I don't care what they got today. They didn't come close to what Drew Ali did. So honors to him. Honors to all the mothers. And honors to all the Moors in the chat. The chat muftis, Islam. Peace and love, Moors. Honors. Honors to all. Islam.
You say it, it is.
I ain't chic, I ain't chic, I ain't chic, I ain't chic. When I speak, you can't talk unless spoken to. Most sound like records, broken too, with no facts. Trust me, I'm not quoting you. Melanin beings do what they not supposed to, going against the biological makeup. Instead of shooting sun rays, guns they take up to go against tanks and carriers of aircraft. When I use air, the beast says no witchcraft. When I use fire, speak truth and shut up a liar. If I use earth, I'm calling on fam from the hollow core. When I use water, flow like a tsunami on y'all. Martin Luther told y'all non-violence. He was a warlock, Rosicrucian, handle magic in silence. Been on this continent, living in minus degrees and temp. In the plus is where my mind is. Open up your mind, iris. I said it's ISIS. Her son Heru is who the Christ is. Light of the world, watch me enlighten the nerd. In your stomach like the center, I'll frighten your turds. Give you the runs, heighten your blurs with tones and words. Caucus skyscrapers are killing the birds. I'm giving you nerves and my goosebumps tingle your spine. You're listening to Iron Sheik and thinking it's prime. The absolute oils got me not stinking a dime. Can't check enough peeps house, man, it's stinking a swine. Many sell out for a deal and sign with ink on the line. Incarcerating your speech for fiat, cars and yachts. Drinking devil's liquids, Henny and yak. Rappers turn convicts, goddess turn bomb chicks. Niggas yelling fuck the police is nonsense. They got guns by the box and run your streets. Widow your so-called whore after they clap at your throat. Parole not, when caught, the gat didn't blow. I heard stories about men putting cock in a bro in the showers, or get guards to leave the wash towers while the gang rape you in a bed of dead flowers. Thousands of brothers, they wore those briefs. Can't think how much semen is on those sheets. Most need to go in strong, not weak. Like my babe brothers, LeBron and Shakur Malik. It's not cool living in the jail cell. Rappers and MCs are liars and the truth they don't tell. Agents using examples of Larry Davis to have you shooting out with pigs from the basement to get caught and then become a killer replacement. Cops crooked like the eyebrow, plus they lie too. Seeing is believing, believing is fake. They say fuck fruition and have blind faith. They take your collection, won't give it to God. They take your perception and they give it to fog. Seeing is believing, believing is fake. They say fuck fruition and have blind faith. They take your collection, won't give it to God. They take your perception and they give it to fog. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real but they too fake. Most act minor but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Welcome to Scarborough. Youths want cash without tango. Candle magic got me calling on Shango. When I strike, I'm coming from lightning angles. Wet up in your ride like dangles. Know your place. When me and the God step into place, devils got step in their face. No matter your race, watch your speech. We defend peace with justice. Love for the God make you shit like mustard or run like custard. Too slow, so you know how it go. Send him to Assad. I'm not the one to judge you, bro, or judge you, sis. Humanity written from hip to hip, but you're shaking them and not getting your womb equipped. Degrading yourself for women's rights, not saving yourself. Turning a dyke, but won't spiritually raise yourself. Waste of sperm, can't even wait to perm. Getting viruses and symptoms, you're thinking it's germs. Making so many mistakes, from none you learn. Seeing your future as the fucking cauldron turn. Ease the burn of your young son's death. Blaming the influence, but never blaming yourself. Drive a shot, but never a crooked cop. Crip shot, but never a racist cop. Racism doesn't exist, so stop. Rex 84, King Alfred got him on the block for chopping. Nigga Mortus, abuse ain't stopping. Guns on your shirts, but your pistol's not cocking. Popping and locking, guns jammed for 10 you're locked in. Or eternal sleep in a closed coffin. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real, but they too fake. Most act minor, but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. Most don't learn till it's too late. Most say that they real, but they too fake. Most act minor, but think they too great. Most meet fake just cause they too bait. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Learn your foreparents' ancient divine creed. Since 1913 I've been planting the seeds. Enemies planted, agents I had to leave. I know it was abrupt, but bear with me please. Among the many teaching, man have two selves. These are lower and higher. You want the one that justice breeds. Uplifting the Moors. Be yourself is what you need. Ancient forefather didn't salat on their knees. Not even under his own vine and fig trees. Fell to slavery for abandoning divine creeds. Denationalized since 1774. Now you hurt others with hands, tongues and thoughts. Confused at the roads when you see them cross. The object of Moor's life is to unfold of course. Islam doesn't teach we were born in sin. If unlimited capacities can be found within, humanity has been left at the mercy of those who in them have no mercy. If only Allah guides the Moorish movement, the faith in your prophet, please don't lose it. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. You should hear about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes or what you claim to be. Coming as he did with a national message. Many disrespect and don't get the lessons. Following the speakers, not the words spoken. Connected to the higher powers or wires broken. This is our prophet and there's none left. False prophets point followers to the joys of death. Circle 7 says Jesus but means Ben Yosef. Where you find Allah, we know the heart is closest. To find a real prophet in these days leaders is rare. Most propagate a faith to have the people in fear. Together we stand, divided we fall. Prophet said, study the Constitution, cause law is all divine and national principle specific. His call to all loyal and faithful Moors is specific. Most made our prophet suffer severely in the past, waving banners with the claims of a national flag. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST, Iron Sheet, about birthrights and nationality. You are not Negroes, standing in front Zion gates. In the name of Allah and Ali, Islam to all. Join the MST. Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, about birthrights and nationality. For you are not Negroes, or what you want to be. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman squadron. Mudra's on stage to the crowd, I'm a marksman. Crosshair, your pioneer, my dress shoes are Clarks, man. No square front shoes, rappers dressed like cowboys. In tight jeans like Aerosmith, my time's now, boy. Y'all been on the mic, some of y'all fell off the stages. You got the ancients vexed, so they got me on y'all cases. Got me on the humble, but if you get it twisted, Kumo make you crash your car and blast you with spirits. No fear none, ritualistics make rapping dummies. Limber, then some wet biscuits, rise you like biscuit. Your bank account doubles, for talking arms house and making youth get in trouble. You don't have to believe it, I call it as I see it, call me Simon. The more carrying the cross for pale Jesus. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the IHF and 2CMB squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open. Hey yo, handshake dead man, we all grown up. Lousy doing the art, Seb won a great cup. Demolition man, a married man, call it royalty. Vending at my lectures, showing their loyalty. Agents try to flop it and bump into Orishas. Give you their nightmares like deep sea creatures. Give you bad karma, cancel karmic credit. If I put your name on it, you wish I never said it. You wish I just did it. You plotted and you schemed. I saw you, visualizing the golden beam. Look through the stargate, a glimpse of the future. Made me see your judgment and tell the thugs not to shoot you. Medallions on string, thinking I'm a cheapskate. Fake Ross get locks cut off like Brutus Beefcake. Fake Nuwapian get slapped with Dark Circle 7 and branded with Noble Drew Ali as a lesson. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one open henchman squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the IHF and 2CMB squadron. Zion Gate Opener, Heaven's Gate Guardsmen, repping for the one MK Ultra, King Alfred, or X84. Once all Melanites behind cage doors. In front the idiot box, drinking cores, watching sports. At the picnic, first in line for porks. Can't find your mind, some say that it's lost. Moorish science says divine souls got tossed, abandoned. Love is my ammo, peace is the cannon. Truth is the ayahuasca talking to the shaman. Freedom is the freedom, justice I must get. Tears fall like a shot with the pilgrim's muskets. The ruckus I bring, but this ain't Wu-Tang. Hold you accountable, Shimitar takes your two hands. Sent up the frankincense from Sudan. Big up to my elder and the god Moses holding up Muban. Rainbow flag grabbing Fruity Loop 2 cans. Same company got cola in 2 cans. Different labels, you're navigating, L is your navel. Make sure I move, watch the goddess not cable. My property, now the rights of the archives papal. Ex-knights, now sheiks of the round table. Ancients return to reclaim and learn how to not to succumb to the combustion burn. Astral projecting, as above so below. So you know off the cosmos we're reflecting. Yo bro, laws of nature, make the sun hate you. Hybrid caucasoid, I'm all pro but not rapanoid. My deep mob, make devil's horns kebab. Don't get my Islam twisted with jihad. Don't get the Muslim mixed up with Muslims. Don't mistake the Mufti force for hoodlums. We're giving back Islam and his story. Taking my story, creating a myth story. That's what's hidden. It's not called Satanism. Men thinking they're wise but they lack wisdom. Need I say more? In my proper person, I got judges tearing up the bonds and cursing. I self-law and master. In no guns, let God be war and blast ya. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down the steps. steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law a master. Let no guns, let off the whirlwind blaster. No need for times, we got the fez. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. More say they're ready for consciousness, I doubt it. Application is the path, but some reroute it. The most I can say is, we'll see about it. Mother Nature sets fires and they can't out it. They take oaths, I know the truth, but they can't shout it. I plant the seed in your mind, got the highest route. Just like Jack's beans, roll a saga sensi scene. Empty ashtray, hanging from the loose kente. Bobo beating on the djembe, calling Orishas. Or hailing Goddess Renan or the niggas. Red, black, green candles, golden flame. Make you think so much and end up with a swollen brain. Cause even she can see that he's in create her. The point creatress is the only creator. I self-law and master. My son now run my birthright's a sovereign. God macabre. Around me revolving. X-Alpha or David Starr. I'm shooting at your squadron. Illuminate my higher self. See from afar. I'm so against jail I can't rhyme in bars. Tell them I self-law and master. No guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for times, we got the fez. Rituals make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law and master. No guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for times, we got the fez. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Artists Union.
Wishing to establish schools for freemen in Oklahoma after the Civil War faced serious challenges because of Indian Territory's unusual status in the United States. In addition to the common problems of white oppression and lack of money, those who wanted to educate former slaves also faced the reality of different problems and reactions within each of the 5 tribes. In 1866, the United States government concluded new treaties the tribes requiring that each recognize its former slaves as tribe members. The National Freedmen's Bureau, created by Congress in 1865, operated in Indian Territory for several months under the leadership of General John Sanborn, but requiring that each recognize its former slaves as tribe members. Requiring that each recognize its former slaves as tribe members. Requiring that each recognize its former slaves as tribe members. The National Freedmen's Bureau, created by Congress in 1865, operated in Indian Territory for several months under requiring that each recognize its former slaves as tribe members. The National Freedmen's Bureau, created by Congress in 1865, operated in Indian Territory for several months under the leadership of General John Sanborn, but ceased operation when the new treaties were negotiated. As a result, most of the effort to educate freemen organized within each tribe and differed from group to group. Among the 5 tribes, the Seminole most easily adjusted to post-war circumstances, quickly assimilating their former slaves into the tribe. Of the other 4 groups, the Cherokee did the best job of educating the group. Among the 5 tribes, the Seminole most easily adjusted to post-war circumstances, quickly assimilating their former slaves group. Among the 5 tribes, the Seminole most easily adjusted to post-war circumstances, quickly assimilating their former slaves into the tribe. Of the other 4 groups, the Cherokee did the best job of educating their free men, at least at the primary level, maintaining 7 schools in 1872. However, not until 1890 did the group. Among the 5 tribes, the Seminole most easily adjusted to post-war circumstances, quickly assimilating their former slaves into the tribe. Of the other 4 groups, the Cherokee did the best job of educating their free men, at least at the primary level, maintaining 7 schools in 1872. However, not until 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. The Creek also provided a basic education, with maintaining 7 schools in 1872. However, not until 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. 4 groups, the Cherokee did the best job of educating their free men, at least at the primary level, maintaining 7 schools in 18. Cherokee did the best job of educating their free men, easily adjusted to post-war circumstances, quickly assimilating their former slaves into the tribe. Of the other four groups, the Cherokee did the best job of educating their free men, at least at the primary level, maintaining 7 schools in 1872. However, not until 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. However, not until 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. In 1872. However, not until 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. In 1872. However, not until 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. The Creek also provided a basic education, with 5 schools in 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. The Creek also provided a basic education. 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school. 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school. 1890 did the Cherokee provide. 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 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. The Creek also provided a basic education. Provide a high school for their former slaves. The Creek also provided a basic education. Slaves. The Creek also provided slaves. The Creek also provided slaves. The Creek also provided a basic education, with 5 schools in existence by 1874. In 1881, the Creek Council gave freed men the task of operating a school near Muskogee. It opened in 1883 as Tallahassee Manual Labor School. The Creek freedmen ran it with help from the American Baptist Home Missionary Society. Also, in 1883, these two groups established a second institution known as Evangel School on the old Union Agency grounds in Muskogee.
No offense, but if you still think stocks, real estate, or crypto are the best passive
The Choctaw failed to provide education for former slaves directly. Failed to provide education for former slaves directly, but Muskogee. The Choctaw failed to provide education for former slaves directly. Muskogee. The Choctaw failed to provide education for former slaves directly, but promoted schools through various missionary organizations using failed to provide education for former slaves directly, but promoted schools. Failed to provide education for former slaves directly, but in Muskogee. The Choctaw failed to provide education for former slaves directly, but promoted schools through various missionary organizations using federal funds. The freedmen supplied the building and the missionary in Muskogee. The Choctaw failed to provide education for former slaves directly, but promoted schools through various missionary organizations using federal funds. The freedmen supplied the building and the missionary groups provided the teacher and supplies. The first of these schools, run by Baptist Missionary Board, opened a boggy depot in 1874. The building later burned. The first of these schools, run by Baptist Missionary Board, opened a bus. The first of these schools, run by Baptist Missionary Board, groups provided the teacher and supplies. The first of these schools, run by Baptist Missionary Board, opened a boggy depot, provided the teacher and supplies. The first of these schools, run by Baptist Missionary Board, opened a boggy depot in 1874. The building later burned. Eventually, several high schools such as Tuscaloosa Academy in Tallahena and Oak Hill Mission near the Red River were established in this way, but they did not last past the 1890s. The Chickasaw did not provide any support for schools for their former slaves and not provide any support for schools for their former slaves in the 1890s. The Chickasaw did not provide any support for schools for their former slaves in the 1890s. The Chickasaw did not provide any support for schools for their former slaves, and the freedmen proved unable to meet the needs themselves. That's the 1890s. The Chickasaw did not provide any support for schools for their former slaves, and the freedmen proved unable to meet the needs themselves. It was true throughout the South. Most of the schools and the freedmen proved unable to meet the needs themselves, and the freedmen proved unable to meet the needs themselves. It was truth, and the freedmen proved unable to meet the needs themselves. And the freedmen proved unable to meet the needs themselves.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now what? Now what? Now what? What is he reading? I don't care. I don't care what he's reading. You know he's reading something. You're not freestyling that. I don't care what he's reading. If you're playing Indian whatever, you're full of BS. We see you and your doo-doo. We see you. Stain going all up your back. We see you. Dirt balls. We see you. Oh yeah, we see you people. The Indian stuff is BS. You're gonna follow Rod Hayes and Empress Rare Dingbat and all of them? You're gonna go follow Top Cat and all of them? Jackasses over there? The Indian stuff is BS. You're gonna follow Dane Calloway and all these goof asses? It's BS. They were slave masters of their own. What you mean you're repping for that? And then you're mad at European because they enslaved somebody? The hell out of here. The Indians are slave masters to black guys. The hell you mean you're Indian? Isn't that the same thing like being black and then thinking some European is your god and all that? Isn't that the same mind fuck? Stop playing games. Yeah, get the rope. Just string them up now. String them all up. String them all up. Because all of them were slave masters. All of them. The 5 civilized tribes. We even go through all of them yet. This is 2 minutes. 2 minutes in and you're still saying Indian? 2 minutes in. Indian destroyed. Indian they shouldn't even have any claims. All their subscribership and follow, whatever like that, it's supposed to be plummeting right now. Everybody should be unfollowing these frauds. But of course, you're not going to do that. We're just talking to the two in the back. You see the two back there? The two back there who actually see what's up and they want to do something about it. That's who we're talking about. That's what it's for. This ain't for the masses. The masses ain't ready to be Moors. People are cowards. Bunch of slave masters. That's where you are. We haven't gone through all the civilized tribes yet. And I don't hear any... Well, he said Cherokee and Noble Drew Ali said he's Cherokee. No, he didn't. Noble Drew Ali said he's Moorish American. Stop lying. Stop lying. Well, Taj said he's Cherokee. No, he doesn't. Taj is a Moor. Stop the BS. The hell are you talking about? No, he's not. He's a Moor. You see Bay right there? This is Bay. Since when is Bay Cherokee or whatever? Since when? They never claimed that. Stop the BS. Stop the BS. Telling me about some Indian whatever. People still in Indian whatever? You see when they had that thing with the hoax of the brawl, and then the chair was something for a little while, and everybody had chairs going down the damn runway for a damn pageant or something like that. They got the chair up there and all that BS. Right? These people need to be chased down like that with chairs and beat these people into sense, because they're senseless right now. And there's one or two that are going to say, okay, fine, stop. I'll stop the BS. Other than that, get the rope. Because these people been done. Take those carcasses out of here. Who's next? Because you can't tell me that after this, you're going to go be Indian still. No way. That you find out that these people are slave masters, the Aboriginal indigenous people of the Americas and all that stuff, the 5 civilized tribes and all of them, they were slave masters of black guys. Why are they enslaving black guys? Oh, so they could play to be the indigenous. What do you mean? Just like people are playing Vatican when they're really more Science Temple. But they're playing Vatican games. What they have to do, they have to get rid of the real Pope. Get rid of the prophet. So they can have their Pope up there. And have their Vatican. And rule the world. And then where Vatican is there, then that was been in Chicago. And it would have been some Mos Miriam and all that stuff. It would be more Science Temple. And then Unity Hall would still be there and all that stuff. And then that would have got built up, you know, because we would have had everything to do the infrastructure stuff, right? But no, they didn't want that. They wanted to play stateless games. So here you are. Here you are, messed up. Here you are, messed up. They're calling yourself slave master. No, but that means you're free when you say you're... It's been said a lot. It's been said a lot. It's been said a lot. But we'll just say it again just because. Noble Drew Ali is the man. Right? Oh yeah. Let's just address that quick. Civil orders, 4th July 2014. That's Maine common law jury. And some modern Europeans. That ain't no Pope letter to Obama. That's some modern Europeans who took what Moors did. 2012, 2011, and did it under the name of, and then they added some stuff to it, and then say, oh yeah, this was the Pope's secretary to send this letter to him. Why would the Pope's secretary send him a letter for? Does the Pope's secretary, she's not in the office with him? If that's Pope's secretary, what you mean she's sending letters to him? She doesn't have the direct link to him? That's the secretary. Secretary sending letters? The secretary of the office is sending a letter to the CEO in the other office. Really? You really fell for it? You didn't see the thing that said Maine common law jury? You didn't see that? You missed it? They do some modern Europeans. There ain't no Pope Francis, nothing. That's some modern Europeans. Go check. Maine common law jury. That lady, Anna, whatever, she's a judge for that. She's a judge for some whatever these Europeans made up in Maine. That's what they were doing 2012 while Moors were sending out writs and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden they pop up and they're talking about, yeah, the Grand Army of whatever. You see any Grand Army around here doing anything? Or you see same popo that you've been seeing ever since you were little youth man. Same popo, right? You see any Illuminati or whatever like that? People been playing games with you, messing your head up. Why? Because you don't have the foundation, which is Noble Drew Ali and everything that he brought. And he proved that he did everything that he was claiming. He proved it. It's not he was talking about something and then eventually you'll see this thing happen. While he's around, prophecies are manifesting all around him. and it was made public, so no one could say they don't know. So in this book, Moorish literature, right? This is what was happening in the 1920s. I don't know who lied to you. I don't know who you talked to make you think that Moor Science Temple of America is some church or something like that. I don't know who you were talking to, but they played you. Because we're not saying what we're doing. We're saying what Noble Drew Ali was doing in the 1920s is proof enough for you to say, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's just do what the Prophet did. Why are we doing all this other stuff? Why don't we just do it? Because it seemed like he had this thing locked down. Moorish leader on tour visits subordinate temples. And this is an article from a newspaper talking about Noble Drew Ali and the Moors. 1920s. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder and leader of the Moor Science Temple of America, left Saturday to visit the members of 17 different subordinate Moor Science temples, which are organized in 15 different states. 15 states, remember 1920s, 15 states. In 15 states, there's 17 Moorish Science temples throughout. Think about it on a map. Just pick any 15 states. Just pick 15. You know the ones that we hear about, right? But fill in the rest. And then put 17 subordinate temples in one of those 15. "17 different subordinate Moor Science temples, which are organized in 15 different states." Now, let's go metaphysical. Do you think state is land, some jurisdiction on a map? What if state is deeper than that? What if state is consciousness? What if state is health? What if state is mental? What if it's all of them at once? He is accompanied by Richard Ross Bay, editor of the Moorish Guide, a bi-weekly publication of the organization. Up to date, Detroit, Newark, Philadelphia have been visited. So there's two, as far as those cities, you got some states right there that you start, just shading in on the map. During this tour, special emphasis is being put on the importance of strict observance by the members and officers of the Constitution and bylaws recommended by the Prophet and unanimously adopted during the first annual convention of the Moors at Chicago in October 1928. Importance of strict observance by the members and officers of the Constitution and bylaws recommended by the Prophet And then if you have your constitution, go check and see how much articles you're violating. And there's the template right there. So just get right and then just keep it moving. Because you have a template right there. They've been telling you study this, study that, study over there, study that. And ain't nobody telling you study divine constitution and bylaws. And if we go metaphysic, again, it just gets deeper. Because what constitution? Was the constitution as and bylaws recommended by the prophet. That constitution, yours. Your constitution. It is yours. And members of a nation. You ain't getting away. You think members of Moorish Science Temple of America only, you're playing yourself if you're saying you're a Moor. Because Drew Ali is why you know that you're a Moor. Ain't nobody before Drew Ali telling you that you're a Moor. Today, somebody might have told you that you're a Moor. But back then, only Drew Ali was telling you that you're a Moor. The Message of the Prophet, published in the Moorish Guide issue of November 10th, has created very favorable comments. It was directed to the nations as well as Moors of the United States. Remember, this is them writing the article. Don't get. Now, why does the Moorish say? Stop it. It's not our article. This is somebody else's article writing about the Moors. Why are you writing about the Moors in the newspaper talking about the subordinate temples that Noble Drew Ali's visited and all that? How is that news? Or is it news? It definitely is. North, east, west, and south. It definitely is. "17 different subordinate Moorish Science temples." This stuff is north, east, west, and south. This is news. Breaking news. Two prominent visitors from an eastern country called at the Prophet's private study, 3140 Indiana Avenue, to personally compliment him on the article. According to information from Mrs. Pearl Drew Ali, National Secretary Treasurer of the Moors Organization, members are responding encouragingly to the per capita tax system adopted at the convention. It is believed that in conjunction with other plans, upon his return to Chicago, Prophet Ali, in all probability, will interview Governor Len Small of the state of Illinois. So if Noble Drew Ali was doing all this in the 1920s, ain't nobody can tell you that they don't know who the Moors are. Somebody's been playing games. Because unless you figure this out for yourself, right, that our people have been playing games. Man, Chicago was the hub. The Moors had it locked down. The remnants of that was there 2008 when we went to Mecca. And to be an outsider and see some people who look just like me, they don't look any different than anybody I know that I grew up with or whatever like that. We all look the same. And I'm seeing them traveling on the road just like every other car out here. Anywhere they go, it's 3 cars, 4 cars. If we have to go somewhere, you know, just on the travel, we just make a stop somewhere. People getting out the way, you know, is a line somewhere. A line, you know, maybe 8 people in the line. And people are moving and telling them, now you can go ahead or whatever. And then those people look just like them, and it was crazy, right? There was 2 incidents, but one that made me know that it was different was when we got to the temple and we were getting out the conveyances, went to the trunk to go get my stuff out the trunk, and then a brother with a black, you know, a black version to the red one that we saw, and the blue one that we saw, and the green one that we saw, and like, what is this? Right, so he comes with a black but a yellow tassel, and everybody else had black tassels. Like, awesome, you know, maybe he's somebody or something. He's like, it's all Moro, I got that. I'm like, no, it's cool, you know, I can carry my bag. He's like, no, I got that. And it was like a order, but it was also a sincere, like, I'll just, you know, I got your back, don't worry. But it was also like, if you don't let go of this bag, we're gonna have issues. Right? So there was all these instances. 08. And this is just on a weekend, just flooded with flooded. Just went into a wormhole and got off the bus back here, and I don't even know what happened. All I know is that I'm down with this. This is what it's at. This is who it's at. This is how it's at. This is where it's at. This is why it's at. Nothing else. Right? So the essence of what Noble Drew Ali laid down in the 20s still giving a ripple effect today. Right? We're still able to grasp it. Know that it's real. Know that, yes, I know the truth about my nationality. Just like everybody else out here who says that they're a human being. I know the truth about my nationality. And I'm not doo-doo. I'm not doo-doo. And nobody's going to make me doo-doo either. I know the truth about my nationality. Honors to all the Moors Worldwide. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. Love and peace. Yeah, and that was a good one too. You never thought about it. Hey, yeah, well, you just say it in the way the principles are. So that's the transition, like the black, you know, you're getting rid of the black. But yeah, love and peace, that was a good one. Honors to all the Moors, honors to all the mothers. Peace and love to all. Be a little more as we close out. Islam Moors, Best of Iron Sheik Mix CD.
Conscious. Artist Union. Asa, Law, and Master. Whirlwind Blaster. We got the feds. Aztec heads. Iron Sheik, Iron Sheik, Iron Sheik, Iron Sheik.
The M symbolizes an owl, and the R symbolizes the mouth of Ra. All right, so that comes to mean the word Moor. All right, based on hieroglyphics, based on Metu Neter.
When more study our Quran and questions from Moorish children, prosecutors and magistrates hails in the admin buildings, challenging jurisdiction, paperwork sent first, middle fiat quenching their money hungry, bloody credit thirst. Trustees benefit when they excrete your estate. That you thought was a provincial state is a big mistake. From corporate plantations, there's no escape or backdoor unless reserve rights on contract doors. Keep eyes open for like you misplaced something. It's witchcraft when you hear caught and your heartbeats jumping. Extortion, past due letters, fake money, bounty hunting. Filing public records, papers within debt counties fronting to have authority. Constitution approved, but those filed papers at the county doesn't stop the abuse. Might as well just put on the noose, shackles and chains on ankles, no boots. In snowstorms with no shame, with no status, no flag, no free national name. With fractional damage, collateral, irrational claims. Catch a psych evaluation or contempt of quasi-court. Calling out what's not in evidence won't set a precedence. Misprision of treason and gross negligence. Denying due process and sharing the same sentiments. On you harder than cement is. If you give them a chance, I'm here to help you not enter their brainwash camps. Keep your neck hidden, no kidding. Watch out for vamps, light revealer. And keep a walk, keep casting the lamps. Always giving without expecting thanks. In a b-boy stance, scimitar swinging at outstretched hands. It's meant to wake you up out of your brainwash. It's purely mental and it's dangerous. It's meant to wake you up out of your brainwash. Yo, they run on the floor with elegance, low self-elements. Get the gentleness stomp of Hannibal Alp elephants. Taking back our settlements, induce relevant resonance. In full life, ancestral mind, no artificial intelligence. Men turn bionic, high off the seedless hydroponic. Thinking they on it, but what they on it must be demonic. Not Baphomet, Moroccan star on his head. Crescent moons of Islam he uses, caduceus from Kemet. Sitting in meditation, goatee like a Rasta. Raised Kundalini light bursts out the crown chakra. Volcanic viewed HD and panoramic. No ayahuasca root, seeing signs and symbols automatic. Did I play eyes, cause mine's so wide open. Maybe an omen can't see truth cause your third eye's swollen. And it's not going down no matter what spell's spoken or your devotion or golden potent potion. Can't even use water frozen. Moorish shogun says the calcifying chambers not rest in the bottom of oceans. Left hoping, false prophet quoting and chasing. Minds under control like lasers for steel engraving. Mental blocks and thought barricades, the real enslaving. No cake, no type, no dynamic duo when I'm saving. With heads locked, pop brainwashed, don't think I'm breaking or b-boying. Good scholars, very annoying. With hillbilly sovereigns, knowledge hee-hawing. Being sold out by my owners, what has me worried? ABPP, I'm telling y'all, no win with a lawyer, so don't ask me. I know y'all are Moors, just ask General Khalid. The General said he's a Moor MBPP. Won't take heed, your greed for his name, fame got you skunk drunk. You never pull the trigger, just pose with the shotguns pump. Waiting and hating, showing no love, but you're showing bacon. Licenses for ID at the police station. On top of that, no rights reserved on the contract. Dirty Moors finesse masters, use old leaders to con cats. Show their picture but won't use their best quotes. Only use the ones to bring in fiat notes from scapegoats. Kwame Touré's wife, even wore a fez at their wedding. I snicker at SNCC and all black organizations begging. Walking with limbs peg-legging. These conscious pirates, fake freedom warners, getting no ratings when I'm irate. Conscious, 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 conscious. So I never sat down with Tosh Bay one-on-one. Shooting Yeti is my target, Aleem Bay is my gun. All I do is crush a lot truth. My big pun and Fat Joe falling on you 50 feet below. Mike Fatso, Mark conscious coons frauds up with my firing squad. Tugging at emotions hard like sleeping, pulling a quad. Larry's no professor, show me some doctorate degrees, son. Won't listen to I'm African crap until I see one. I'm not asking for much, cause I give more than I ask for. Moorish MC, lay it down hot like asphalt. I won't cool though, some call me Fool Joe. Trying to get under my skin, you must be a new bro. Old foe gets stole slow, lash with a tongue strap. Conscious coons wanna be gazy and make a comeback, not on my watch. Flow till time stops, left in shot cause the rhyme doc. Open up your mind blocks. Conscious, 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 conscious.
I sat next to this European fellow who was asking me what I did and so forth, and I told him. But then I started to continue to talk, and then I went on and on. He said, "The Moors. I don't know too much about the too much about the Moors. Just that they were Muslims, right?" I said, "Well, yeah. Well, the vast majority of them were Muslims, but they were also people of other faiths." And he says, "Well, that's interesting." I said, "But the Moors are also in Ireland." And then he started to kind of move around in the seat, because he had also equated the Moors with Spain, and Spain only. So I said, "No, actually, the Moors went up into Ireland and County Cork. In fact," I said, "and there were even continued attacks on the coast by Moorish corsairs as late as the 16th century. And a lot of these people into those Irishmen living in Ireland." I said, and when you look at names like Moor, which is pretty obvious, you see it. Or Scottish or Irish names that have the MC on the front, whether it's Mick or Mac, that's a reference to the Moors. So MacDougall and McConnell and McMarion and McMurray, etc. There's a reference to an African progenitor there.